This is a category we haven't explored just quite yet, at least not in public. I don't know if I can say or not.
It's kind of quite aggressive looking almost. It looks like a mincer almost, where the driver is.
This is a nice little GIF, which is really fun, and it's like a little cog in the center. It's quite hypnotic.
Yeah, with the rotating movement, like the ocular movement, I'm wondering what the utility of that is. And I wonder if that's something you can interact with physically by hand.
So that's quite an intricate mechanism. It's kind of interesting to think about glyphs moving. Not really thought about them physically moving before. Glyphs are usually something that indicates something to the user. The user can't see their ears and they can't see a band over their head. What message might you want to send to other people?
I really like the little colour pop on the headband extender. Obviously, I'm always thinking about colour and material finish, and I think it looks really cool. There's really nice layering and a really nice knurling detail on the edge of the speaker driver, it looks like.
I would say maybe be a bit clearer about what you're signifying with the transparent elements. If you're referencing the driver, it should maybe have elements that look like the driver.
There's a really nice use of texture throughout, which I think is something that's really important to the Nothing brand. It's really nice to have that level of consideration to the designs that have been submitted.
Okay, yeah, it's a speaker, I think. It's taking a lot of visual cues from many different designs of ours. Getting a bit of ear stick from it.
So this is my dog Reg. He's come to sit here with me. He's an excellent judge of CMF and design. He's an expert, probably more than me. So it looks like a little paperback book or something. I think it would look cool. You can't really tell what it is, but I think that's quite nice. It's less obvious.
I think there can be a temptation to just sort of like put flashing lights on stuff because it's cool. But I think for this product, I'd really be thinking about why are the lights here? What are they doing? Are they kind of reacting to the sound or giving you some notifications from your phone? So if you're not using your phone, you're still getting some information. That could be quite interesting.
It looks like very iconic, kind of Nothing design language with these two little half circles. They maybe look a bit like boobs.
I like the way that you've like handled the transparency. So it's got some, transparent elements. I think a lot of it has been lifted from, that is just the top of the ear stick. It's good to reference other products, but maybe I'd like to see a bit more of your style in it combined with ours. Yeah, we've looked at a few speakers and I think this is up there with one of the best that we've seen. With a big thing like this, it's kind of hard to think about where to do transparency. Not everything, maybe needs transparency, but I think this is quite a neat way of doing it by just having this, I'm guessing volume control, by making that this solid, transparent part.
I really like these solid, transparent adjustment knobs. Have that good size to them and heft. They tend to refract the light really interestingly, which is always fun.
I assume that's a display. Maybe that could read the record and tell you what track's playing. And you know which album's playing, not just by looking at the record or the sleeve, but actually on the display. I would think more along those lines. What else can you do? What can you bring to this?
Products like this that live in a kind of domestic environment, it's really important to consider how well that would sit for lots of people's homes. Some people might find red a little bit too punchy, and there's quite a lot of the red.
The Nothing lighter. Oh, the chrome beetle's nice. I guess hero images with renders are quite nice because you're able to see the entire story of the product. It's oh, this is it.
Another unexpected one. I'm kind of getting aerospace or maybe just sci-fi vibes from these.
It would be nice to know, are you pushing the button on the top? If the renders could communicate the utility of that.
We make tech products, but we love all sorts of products. And the idea that something that isn't a tech product could be a tech product, I think is fun.
Maybe this is useful at home as opposed to even carrying around with you. So I guess thinking about the context the light is going to be used in, that might even help guide the design direction.
Nothing Voyage 1. So some goggles. Okay, so it's like an Oculus type thing. Quite sporty.
Yeah, these are interesting. And again, with the glyphs out facing towards the world, when you're wearing these glasses, I do wonder what's that communicating towards people who are looking at you. Is it maybe even just a fashion statement?
With the Vision Pro, all of the use cases for that were you're sitting in your house and you're outside in your head, in your goggles, watching a movie on a lake. And I didn't really get that. So just this this thought, maybe AR and VR isn't for the home.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think about AR products. If you can get into that world of that size, it feels like mass adoption is much more likely. There's something about the size of them at the moment that feels it's very much an indoor thing.
You see a lot of the smart helmets that have indicators on, and maybe if you're cycling, that is useful. The idea of small on face personal computing is quite interesting.
Yeah, Nothing Pocket, we've talked about that name. It's kind of interesting. Camera monitoring, Bluetooth speaker, phone call, external disc. I want this.
It reminds me of a mini disc player, which is very nostalgic for me. It seems like it has a multifunctional approach, which is always good. Less stuff that does more is always a great approach to have.
So my question would be, what are these glyphs telling you? Are they mirroring what's on your phone maybe? So it's almost like a remote control that you can take somewhere. You know, is it like smartwatch functionality or something else? But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
We've got it suggested that it could be a speaker mode, an external disc, and a camera monitor. So it might be nice to see how the glyphs would look for each of those modes so that you can tell from looking at the back what function it's in at that moment.
Wow, we've got the nothing burger. Yeah, no, this is funny. I'm like thinking what we should do for April Fool's next year as well. Maybe a burger, we'll see. That is a nice brioche bun. I would eat that plain brioche.
Yeah, that's quite entertaining, that one. I don't know how good it will taste.
In a burger, is the burger just the middle bit, or is the bun as well? Like, is this part of your concept?
Doesn't look like the most appetizing burger bun that I've ever seen. There's no sesame seeds on there, which is a huge red flag for me.
If we were going to do a burger with someone, who would it be? Yeah, you would have seen the beer that we did recently with a small brewery in Wales. I don't think we'd want to do one with like a really big brand. I think we'd want to find like who's local, who's doing really good stuff, and do something with them. So yeah, maybe it's coming. We've done beer, a burger would go great. Why not?
Yeah, for me, it's a pass for the burger one, I think. Needs work, definitely.
Thanks everyone for sending in your renders. This might be like your hobby or you're practicing for something, and to like spend your time on these creative endeavors is a really good use of your time.
Yeah, it's great to see what the community thinks, and it definitely like stretches our imagination as to like categories it could enter.
As a token of our appreciation, we're going to be sending ear twos to everybody that submitted, including the burger bun, which is, arguably a travesty, but there we go. What are you doing? Reg, come here. Reg, you're being a pest. Sit down. Sorry, I had to bring my dog. Reggie!